Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part, we are trying to create this salary and bonus analysis dashboard in Power BI. In this simple dashboard, you will learn how to create an interactive dashboard where we can count total number of employees that have worked for this company, their average age, how many total active employees do we have, how many total inactive employees, what is total salary of these employees combined. There is department-wise count of employees' annual salary by country and gender. And there is this interesting distribution here. So here we have distribution of male employees, distribution of age of female employees. Here we have average of annual salary by job title total. There are top 5 employees by salary. And this is count of employees by year and how many of them have left the organization in that particular year. You can drill down and use these arrows to see the reports quarterly, monthly or weekly. We also have different type of filters here. Applying them, you will be able to visualize the data. So the data set that we are going to use in this project is this employee data. I will provide you the data set. Here you can see we have the EEID, that means employee ID, job title, which is a categorical value, department, another categorical value, business unit, gender, ethnicity of that employee, age of that employee, hiring date of the employee, annual salary, bonus percentage, country from which this employee is, city in which the employee resides, and the exit date. So we have these different conditions here. We have these different columns here, fields here, and now we will simply load it in our BI tool and start analyzing it. Now we will open Power BI desktop, and in Power BI desktop we are going to load that data. So simply go to get data and click on text CSV file so that you can read the data. Once you will load the CSV file, what you have to make sure is all the column names are properly mapped with their values, and after this simply load the data. Data will start loading, you have to wait, and this operation timing totally depends upon size of data and your computer's configuration. So now we have the data. The first thing before starting any analysis we do is we can add a text box here, and before that I will go to view tab, and in view tab I will customize current theme and choose a particular background for my canvas. I will simply go to page. In page background you can see here are different type of colors, so we can select any one of them. Let's say we are going with this color and we will apply, and for its transparency I'll just use 5% transparency. And now we have the background. Now I will simply click on insert text box, and let's simply set our analysis here. So this is salary and bonus analysis of employee. So we have simply copied the text and we will simply paste it here. So next thing that we have to do is select all and make the font size like this. These icons are something that you can generate using ChatGPT, or I will provide it as a text in the video description, so you can copy from there as well. So this is salary and bonus analysis, and because our background is light color, is a dark color background, so I will just choose a light color here, and I will make this transparent. So I will make this text box background transparent. So to do that, I will click on it, go to its settings. In effects I will disable the background, and one final thing that I'll do is I'll enable shadow. So this way we have the salary and bonus analysis heading with some 3D kind of effect here. Now next thing that we are going to do is, let's say we are working for some company, so we can include their branding here. So we can click on insert and add image, and I will simply add this image here and adjust it on left hand side. This is something that we can call as a sidebar, and in the sidebar we can apply some kind of, or we can put some kind of filters. For sidebar we will again go to insert and drag shapes here, and I will just position the sidebar like this, and I will just increase its width. In our sidebar, what we can do is we can go to style, and we will say no fill. In the style we'll say no border, only shadow. So here you can see, and in shadow, because this is a sidebar, so while using the shadow we can tell the shadow position should be right. So we will simply use top right here. Shadow position is right. Let me try to choose a different color. And you can see here, like in a styling color fill, you can select any color. In shadow, you can select any shadow with some transparency, whatever amount you require, and some blur. So you can give this kind of effect. And because the image is hiding behind this particular shape, so we can go to format, and we can simply say send to back. So then your image will be highlighted. This is something that you can do as per your theme, as per your own liking, but I am just showing different options how to make this kind of reports. This area we are going to keep for filter, and obviously these are the settings that you can choose as per your own analysis, as per your own theme, style, brand guideline, etc. Next, after doing this, we will try to create some charts now. And before proceeding further, we have to create one calculated column. So here you can see this is hire date of employee, which is a good thing. Then there is some exit date. If you will go down here, you will see some employees have exited and some employees are still active. So in order to create that column, we have to use a DAX here. So we will simply create a DAX column called employee status. So if is blank, able exit date, that means if the exit date column is blank, then we will call them active, because exit is blank, so they are still active. And if there is some date in exit date, so we can call them inactive. Let's see whether it will be uh, you know it will give us correct data. So from here in modeling tab, we will simply go and create a new column, and in new column we will write this. Here table name is employee data, so we will just replace it with employee data. And now let's apply this. So you can see a calculated column is created, and when you will go to table view, you will be able to see that. So you can see all those employees where exit date is blank are now being labeled as active, and all others where exit date is given, that means they have resigned or suspended, or there can be any reason, resigned or fired or whatever will be the reason, but they are inactive. So now we have this information, and with the help of this column we can create our KPI cards here. So to create our KPI cards, we usually use this card visual, and we will resize the card visual like this. In the card visual, we have to first find out how many total employees are there. So in order to find total employees, we already have employee ID, which is unique value for each employee, which we will add here, and we will use count of employee ID. So you can see 500 employees are there. We will go to format your visual, disable the category label. This is category label. I will disable it, and I will go to general tab and enable a title and call it employees count. I will resize it, and in visual, in callout value, I will simply use a value somewhere around 35 so that we can see it properly. In title, I will align it to center, and let's use some text which is as per the theme. So we will use this color here, Again, this is something that you can use as per your liking. So this is employee count here. Now if you want to display in a reverse manner, that's what we have done here. So you can also go into general tab and you can go to effect and disable the background. In that case you have to choose a light font color, let's say something like this, and in your title also. So I will just go with this just for a change, and here in effects we will just enable some shadow. So this is employee count. I will generate once again 2 or 3 different copies of it because I have to prepare 2 3 different API cards here. So here we are going to count average age of employees. So this is sum of age. We will write average. So you can see on an average our employees are 44.05 years old. So we will write average age. We also have employee count once again. This time we are going to count how many uh, active employees are there. So there are multiple ways of doing that, but if you remember we created this active column, so employee status. So we will drag employee status and we will say count of employee status. It will always show 500, but here we will go to filter and we will add employee status in filter and say active. So this will show us only active employees. Okay, this is a way of showing active employees without using any DAX or but you can also use filters. You can so a simple DAX for that will be active employee count will be calculate count in your table. So we can put table name as employee data where is blank table exit date. Okay, so that way also we can count employees. So it's your choice. Let's see. uh, we'll simply copy it and go to modeling tab, click on new measure here and active employee count. So here we are using the calculate function. In calculate function the first argument is your expression. Expression can be sum, average, etc. It can be count. We are writing count of employee data, employee ID, where and then the second thing is your filter, like where is blank employee data exit date. So you can write this. Let's try. We can say filter as where employee data employee status is equal to active. So we can also write it like this. Let's see if this will work or will give us error. So here we have this. Let's make a copy of it and remove it from here and let's count active employee. You will see the same number. So because we already have written active employee, so we will write inactive employee count, and the way we wrote active, so and inactive, so we'll use this. So this will be inactive employee count. So we are just going to write inactive. We are going to count total number of employees where this is a filter. So this is just a way to teach you how to apply a filter. So calculate function is very important and useful function when you have to create a measure where you have to find some aggregate value on the basis of some condition or multiple conditions. So in our playlist we have a dedicated video for calculate function. So you can also go and see that. We also have Power BI course tutorial for beginners. Udemy at different times will show you some kind of discount, etc. So in this you will find everything from basic to advanced. We have 22 dedicated lectures for DAX. So if you want you can check out this course as well. Now after creating inactive employee count, we will simply click the checkbox here and it will automatically change it to 152. So this is active employee and this is inactive employee. So we will write active employees. This will be active employees and this will be inactive employees. So now we have created 4 different APIs that will help us in understanding uh, information about our employees. Now we also have annual salary here, but this annual salary, as you can see, is not being represented as a numerical value. So let's go to transform data tab here, and in transform data tab you can see we have information of annual salary here. Okay, uh, what we can do, first thing that we can try to say that it is a fixed decimal number or a decimal number, but it will show error because we have some signs and we have some comma separated values etc here. So we will get rid of this, and here what we are going to do, we will just undo these changes and we will say we want to replace values. So we want to replace, first thing that we want to replace is a dollar sign from here, click OK. And second thing that we want to do, we want to replace the comma sign from here. So let's do that, click OK. So we have this. Now we will try the same thing once again, change type to decimal number, and now you can see it is being represented as a decimal number. Here we have other values like for example age. So you can check data types here and make sure that everything appears properly. Now it is making changes and you can see the annual salary here. So we will just copy this, and after copying this we will add annual salary here and add it as a sum. So you will see it is showing 38.56 million, which is total salary. So we will know total salary. If you want to show any other parameter here, you can show it. And if you think your cards are done, so you can just arrange them like this with sufficient amount of gap between each other so that they are properly visible here. This is first part where we are done with our KPIs. Next, age is given here. Let's say we have to see the distribution of age. To see the distribution of age, we can either choose stacked column or a stacked bar or any of these type of charts, because histogram is not given by default here, but there is a trick to create a histogram. So we can choose it like this. Let's select this one, and here we can drag age to y-axis, and in x-axis we can count. Remember, because we have done a stacked bar chart, like this is a vertical one. If it is a horizontal one, then we can put age on the x-axis. Now in vertical one, y-axis we have selected age, and on x-axis we will we will write count of employees, right? So this way you can see little bit of histogram here, and what this is showing us is in this range, like in the age of 61, age of 50, we have most number of employees and their count is more than 20 here. It is around 24, right? So this is what it shows, like how many employees are there in each age group. Now here there are too many age groups. So what we can do, we can click on this three dot arrow. I have explained this in previous parts also. We can create a new group and we can say we want to create age groups of 5, right? So every age group will be of 5 years. So we will click OK, and now instead of age we will bring wins here, and this way we will be able to see the distribution of age. Okay, now let's say we want to show distribution of age for both male and female. So how can we do that? So here first of all what we have done here is count of EID by age, it is given. So we can simply go and first of all we can write it like this: age distribution. Now there is something I want to experiment here, and will let you understand. So this is age distribution and this is for all employees. Okay, filter is nothing here. So what we will do, we will say gender, and gender is female. So let's say this is age distribution of female. So we will simply change the title to age distribution female. Just want to do some experiment here. This is how age is distributed for female employees here. And one more thing, we will go to format visual y-axis. Type is continuous, we will select it as categorical. So it will start showing as categorical. Now in categorical you will see switch axis position. Okay, so we can show switch axis position here. So this way you will be able to switch axis position, and in your x-axis you will be able to see invert range. So we have selected for age distribution of female. Similarly we will copy it here. Okay, and here what we are going to do, we will say we want to do it for gender male, not female. Okay, so because other was for male, this is for this was for female, now this is for male. One more thing that you can do, you can also show data labels, so you will be able to see count of values also. Here also we can enable data labels. Okay, so this is average distribution of male. We have 257 employees. You can see in the age of 30, 60, so they have different ranges. Now what we are going to do here, here also we are going to go into visual properties. In y-axis we will say switch axis position is on. In x-axis here we will say invert range. Now you will be able to witness something like this, right? And this is how you can show the data. So this is something that you can do. As obviously there are more ways of doing this, but just wanted to try here. And this is age distribution of male. So we will say age distribution male here. Okay, and this is age distribution female. Let's say we will not show, in general tab we will not show background here. Here also we will not show background. When we are not showing background, so we have to select the titles in a proper color. We will select like this. Here also we can do it with the help of copying also, but let's say doing it side by side. And here this color is not going on this color yet. So in visual we'll go to bar and format color. Let's select a lighter blue color, and let's say we want to format printer, apply here also. That's why I was not applying, because it will apply styling also. So we will just redo it here. Or if you want to select a different color for female, you can select it. Just showing you one example. And here this is axis value. So in x-axis we have a title. So let's say we will select this color. Here also we have a title, so we will select this color. And finally these data values are there. So in data labels we have value, in value we have color, so we will select this. Here also we will select this. And finally your axis title. So here axis, obviously there is a lot of customization going on here, but obviously will give a different kind of look and feel to your data. Okay. So this is what you can see here, and a simple way of showing age distribution. And let's say we want to group them together, so we can go to insert, go to shape, and create a rectangular shape here, put them together, and in this shape we will say in a style no fill. In border, some border will be on and some shadow will be there. So we'll just do this so that we will be able to see the group. Let's increase its height, its width, etc. So you will be able to customize it. So this is a simple way of showing age distribution. If you want, you can enable a title here representing age distribution of employees, and we can show it as a center, align center. Okay, because we have more space here, so we will try to move these charts here. So just move these charts a little lower and then arrange it. There are some tricks to work with these type of transparent charts, but this is how you can work. You can go to formatting section and send it to backward. uh, Backward. So this way you will be able to select your charts. Otherwise you saw that chart selection was not available. So now we can just arrange this. Obviously, the more time you will spend on it, more customization and cosmetics you can apply. But this is a simple way of showing distribution of age of male and female employees in the data set. I have copied the male and female font icons and displaying it like this. This is totally optional, but just showing you that we can copy these font icons. So I will copy these font icons in the description as well. Since they are employees, like talking about corporate, so we can also use business male and business female here. Okay? So most of the times a student do ask these kind of questions, so sometimes we try to cover them in any particular tutorial so that we can tag them, and this will also help those who are reading it. So we will simply go and go to general graph. Next, another important thing to measure will be employee count by department. For that, we are going to use a donut chart here. Let's say we are going to use this much width, and here in employee count by department, whatever categorical value you have, you can select it as a legend. Okay. So for example, we have a department, so we'll just drag it as a legend here. And to see count of employees, you can see anything like average salary of average annual salary of these employees, average percentage of bonus given to them, their hire date, how many active and inactive are there. I mean, anything can be done here. What we are just doing is selecting count of employee. The measure that we are selecting is count of employee. Now here in this chart, you can see this particular thing is called legend. If you will disable it, you can see, but now you will not be able to recognize which one of them is operations, which one of them is HR. So we can go to data label. In data label, you can see the position is outside. You can say position to be inside or prefer outside, whatever is there. You can say overflow text and then inside it will not appear. Overflow text, then it will appear. So these type of settings you can choose, and you can see uh, values. So we can reduce the value size to around 8. Okay, this way also you can show the data. You can make it bold. That's one thing. And in data value, you are showing data value and percentage of total. You can also show category and data value. So this way you will be able to show operations, IT, HR, etc. And let's say up to which font it will be suitable. I think 10 is better. So this way in one chart you can show everything, right? Now there is one more thing we can do here. We can simply go let's try to enable legend and say we want to show the legend in bottom center. So this way also you will be able to see that. And this is, its title is department wise employees count, or department wise count of employees. And we will make it bold, align it to center, choose light color. I have selected light color because I want to disable the background here. So in effect, disable the background, enable the shadow, then also get a visual border. So visual border is something we have to optimize. So in general tab, effects, visual border, we have, let's select its color as something which is lighter in color. I will select some shade of blue, let's say this will be good. This is department wise count of employees. Now you can see we are not able to see the legend labels. So here you can see legend titles are there and text is there. So let's select a color. Now we are able to see that. This is department wise count of employees. This is age distribution of employees. Now as we are showing department wise count of employees, we can also show country wise count of employees. Okay, and for that we are going to again select the stack bar chart. In a stack bar chart, I will select this styling and apply it here. In x-axis, we are going to select the country name here. Oh, sorry, in y-axis, country name, and in x-axis, we are going to select count of employees, or let's say this time we will select annual salary. So you will be able to see annual salary by country, okay, because this is salary and bonus analysis. And we will simply go here, and first we have to make these type of changes like font color. So we'll select this color, and we have this bar color here. So we will again select the same color that we selected for bar in previous cases, or maybe a lighter color. This is sum of amount by sum of annual salary by country, and you can see in China, then in US, then UK, Australia. So as per the data, we have this distribution, and this will be simply annual salary by country. And when you create a chart like this, you will see a field that is legend. Okay, so what we can do here, let's say we will drag gender as a legend here. So you will also be able to see sum of annual salary by male and female. Okay, so annual salary by country and gender, what we are seeing here. So here we can write it, or not necessary, but country and gender. And we can select now, since we have two colors, so we can select different color values here. So we have bars and we have colors. So let's say for female, because we selected this color here, so here for female we will select this, and for male we will select this color. Okay, so this way we have average salary by country and gender. And this is important analysis. This will also give you that in China what is the sum of salary, in here what is the sum of salary. Now we also have data labels. Let's say you want to see the label here, so you can enable data label also in order to see who is earning more in which country. Okay, so you can see. And a better type of analysis here would be to see average salary. So you can see average salary. Okay, so whatever you want to choose, you can choose here. And this way you can start with your analysis. Now there is one simple thing I want to let you know. When we created this, at that time I used formula if is blank, but I don't know for some reason after changing it has stopped working. So I changed it to this. This is also the same thing. Here we are saying if employee data exit date is equal to blank, right? So earlier it was given as blank, but somehow it became this empty value. So if that is not working for you, you can try this as well. Okay. When we have a date data, for example, here higher date is given, but somehow this higher date is being read as a text value here. So what we can see and try here that we can try to format it as a date which will not be available here. So we can go to transform data, and in transform data we will go to higher date and say we want to change the type to date. So you will be able to see now it is changed. Close and apply. Make sure we are not seeing any errors there. So now we have higher date here. We also have date hierarchy. So we have year, quarter, month, etc. So for that, let's say we are adding a line chart. Whenever we have to analyze these type of things like date wise, some particular numerical parameter, we do it with the help of line charts mostly. First, I will copy the styling from here and apply here. In x-axis, we will drag higher date, and in y-axis, we will drag number of employees. So we have this. This is showing us count of employees, right? And here uh, we will simply rename dot for this visual as count. That will be better. Count by year it is showing us at this moment. We can go to format your visual, and here we have line. So in line we have color. So in the line axis in your settings you will see lines where you will see color. From here you can select type of color you want. So this is count by year, looking weird. So we will simply say count of employees by year. There is one more change I tried. So here earlier it was written title as average age of employee. So I just removed everything and just kept this icon here, and similarly for this, and I have selected size as 30 because we have already written age distribution of employees, and these icons are kind of representing male and female here. This is also one way of doing it. Now coming back to line chart, here in axis we have to select title and text color also. So we will select like this. We have values, so we will select like this, and similarly in y-axis. So these are some side effects of working with empty backgrounds, but yeah, we have to try everything. So now this is count of employee by year. Here you have these arrows. So when you will use all these hierarchies, like in date you will, when you will use all of them, then you can click on this to turn drill down. You can go to next level. This way you can go to different levels, right? So, and that is very important thing. So this way we can make the graph interactive, and here we will be able to see everything, right, on the basis of drilling down to different levels. So you can try this thing, and this is important thing for us. So, and you can see, for example, here count of employees 25, here count of employees 23, etc. Okay. In order to add a second line here, like in the line chart you can add multiple lines. So you can either add it in the secondary y-axis. So this is the primary y-axis, and here there will be a secondary y-axis. So let's say we want to see inactive employees. So we already calculated this field, right? So inactive employee count will be calculate count of employee IDs and applying the filter where employee status is inactive. So we can drag it here in the secondary y-axis, and here you will see it will appear like this. So this secondary y-axis is representing how many people left. But when you will add it as a secondary y-axis, because number of people leaving will be from count of employees, so it will be good to add it in the same level. Then we will be able to compare both of them. And let's say for the second y-axis you want to select a different color. So here we have lines and inactive employee count. There will be color. So we can select another color. Let's say you want to select this color. Okay. So this is count of employees and inactive employees count by year. Another important thing to analyze would be to see job title wise average salary, or job title wise annual salary, whatever you want to analyze. And for that we can select chart like a ribbon chart also can be selected. So we simply copy using format painter here. Here in x-axis we will select job title, and in the y-axis we will select average salary or sum of salary. So here we can drag annual salary, and you will be able to see a dropping trend here. So you can see here, for example, job title account representative, job title senior analyst. You can see, but if you will select average salary, then you will see on an average who is getting more salary. So technical architect on an average has a more salary, then director, then analyst, then senior manager, and so on. So this is simply average of annual salary by job title. Here we can do just one simple thing, because we have to do the chart. So on y-axis we can disable the values and title, so that we will be able to see these values. So this is average of annual salary by job title, and you can select a pie chart for this. If you want to make it more colorful, you can select a area chart for this, whatever. But area chart kind of represent a continuous value. Here we have discrete value, so better choice will be either to select something from bar chart or something like this. You can always use a funnel chart also. So in funnel chart you will be able to see the hierarchy as well as the values properly. So you will be able to see that. So whatever is your choice, you can select. And let's say if we are going with the funnel chart, so here we can select the colors, and in data labels we have values, and we will select the similar kind of color for values, and we have category labels, similar kind of color for category labels. So since we are showing values, so what if we show this color and display unit thousands, okay. And let's say we want to display a background. So the data value is not being shown here because the chart size is very small, but when you will zoom it you will be able to see it properly. So this is one way of doing it, and you can disable the conversion, then you will be able to see it in a better way. So this is average of annual salary by job title, and we can also show top 5 employees by sum of salary, like who are the top 5 employees in the company. So here we can select a clustered column chart. First of all, we will be able to see in clustered column chart, this is male and female, and this is another way of representing the same data. This is stacked, this is clustered. Here instead of country we will choose employee name. So we have the employee ID here, so I'm not using the name for anonymity. So we will simply use employee ID in the x-axis, and we will get rid of this legend here, and you can see all of them are mostly getting the same color, almost very close to each other. And we can also select average here, like if you want to see on an average. But in sum, if you have to select top 5 employees, so here we are seeing more than 5. So what we can do, we can go inside filters and we can go employee ID is, and we can go top n, top 5 by, and let's say total annual salary. So we will add it here and apply. So this will show us top 5 employees by annual salary. The values that we are seeing here, so in data labels, these are the values. We can select a color that is properly visible. And here, since the value is visible, we can go to y-axis and disable the title and value to make more space. So here you can see employee ID wise, top 5 average salary by country and gender it is showing, but it is actually, we will change the title to top 5 employees by salary. Obviously, there a lot more analysis can be done here. So we will create another dashboard focused towards it. But before that, we will add some filters here. Some important filters will be, since we have not taken city into account, so we can add a slicer here. And in the slicer, first let's reposition it, resize it. So we'll make the size equal to this. And here I will drag city as a filter. Obviously there are multiple cities. If you want to keep it open, you can keep it open. Otherwise you can go in slicer settings and you can show it as a drop down list. In selection you can enable select all, and multiple select is enabled by default. Now these are the values. If values are not visible, like are small, so you can go to values and increase their size, and you can also change the font color. Let's say we will change the font color to this is slicer header. Here also I will change the font color to this. In general effect, I will disable the background and I will simply enable the shadow. So this way I have the slicer with city. Similarly, I can also include slicer here. Here I will just do one thing here. In header I will make it bold and I will increase its size a little bit, and then I will copy it. So we can copy it like this, and here instead of city we can bring department. So we can see department wise data. Then instead of department we can also bring ethnicity here. We can also bring other parameters, like we have job title. So whatever parameters you feel are important for visualizing data, you can bring them together. Now let's say we want to select people from different cities and colors. So here we have a problem with color, so let us go here and in selection. So what we can do simply here, for example, let's say we want to see people from Beijing with Asian, department is analyst. So Asian ethnicity, job title analyst, and department is marketing. So you will be able to see there is one employee, and that's how you will change these things. And you can select multiple by pressing control here, or you can select all of them. So this is something that you can clear the filters from here using this icon, and you will be able to analyze it in this way. So this is our simple dashboard here for salary and bonus analysis of employees. I hope you liked this tutorial, understood something from this, learned something from this. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section. We'll be happy to answer. Please subscribe to our channel. Please like this video. It will help us in bringing more educational videos like this.